Hi, in this video we're going to create and analyze a line graph. So let's use this data to create a line graph and then analyze it. We have our y-axis here and our x-axis here. This line here refers to the number of visitors in the zoo, and these are the days of the visit. And we're using the data in this table here. So for day 1, we have 300 visitors. But before we can fix it here, we need to know what each line reads, what each line stands for. So here we have 0, the starting point, and the next value to 0 is 200. So let's see if we can figure out what each line means. So how many lines do we have from 0 here? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So how do we know what each line reads? 200 divided by 4. Because this is 200 and we have 4 lines in between 200 and 0. 200 divided by 4 is 50. So this reads 50. The first line reads 50. The next line will read 100. That's another 50. This line will read 150. And that's why this line reads 200. And that's how it goes till the very end. So now we can figure out where to fix in 300 for day 1. So this is day 1. If this is 200, this will be 250, 300. This is day 1. So you just put a dot here. We're still coming back to use that dots. Okay, that's for day 1. For day 2, we have 700. So we read the lines. This is 600. That means this line is 650 and this is 700. So if this 700, we'll trace it to the line that goes down to day 2, which is here. And then we'll put a dot right there. Then day 3, we have 800. Oh, 800 is right here. The very last tip here. And make sure the line you're putting your dot on leads directly to day 3. Okay. Day 4, we have 450. So this is day 4 and this is 400. If this is 400, the next line is 450 because each line reads 50. Okay, I'm on the day 4 line. I can put my dot here. And day 5, 600. This is 600. I trace it down to day 5's line and I'm good to go. So this is it. Now when you're done putting your dots where the day and the numbers meet, you then trace the dots to connect from day 1 to day 5, and that's your line graph. So we move straight line right here, from here to here, from here down here, and then here, and this is our line graph. So easy, right? Okay. So let's see if we can answer some questions here. How many visitors were there on day 4? That's glaring. Day 4, even from the table here, you can figure that out. So day 4, we had 450 visitors. How many more visitors were there on day 2 than day 5? So this is day 2. Day 2, we had 700 visitors. And day 5, we had 600 visitors. You can label these lines to easily read it if you don't want to read from the table. This is 700 and this would be 750. You can do the rest for this and this. So we had 600 on day 5 and we had 700 on day 2. How many more visitors were there on day 2 than day 5? That's easy. That will be 700 minus 600. That will be 100 visitors. Okay. Let's see what other question we can ask. How many less visitors were there on day 1 than day 4? So this is day 1. We had, this is 250, 300, and this is 350. Okay, so day 1 we had 300, and day 4 we had 450 right here. 450, 500, 550. So how many less visitors were there on day 1 than day 4? Day 4 you have 450, day 1 you have 300. How many less visitors? Same thing, 450 minus 300. We had 150 less visitors on day 1 than day 4. Okay. All right, so let's go to the next section and see how we can work on that or analyze that data there. Okay, here are bottles collected by grade 4 students. And on the y-axis, this vertical line are the number of recycling bottles. And on the x-axis, this horizontal line are the weeks the bottles were collected. We already have our line graph drawn for us. And let's see if you can answer these questions based on the data you can find in the line graph. All right, welcome back. How many bottles were collected in week 2? For week 2, let's see, where do we have week 2? Week 2 right here, you just trace it here. 180 bottles for week 2. So let's put 180 here for week 2. How many weeks did they collect more than 150 bottles? Okay, so this is, where do we have 150? Okay, we need to know what each line reads. This is 0, this is 60. Between 60 and 0, we have just a line. Okay, 1, 2, 2 lines. If you're counting from here, from 0 to 60, 1 and 2. So 60 divided by 2 is 30. That means this is 30. So each line reads 30. This will be 90 right here. This will be 150. If you had 30 to the previous number, you get the new number. 180 plus 30, this will be 210. 240 plus 30, that will be 270. And 270 plus 30 will give you 300. So we're correct. Now, how many weeks did they collect more than 150 bottles? So this is 150 bottles. How many weeks did they collect more than this? So just check. How many weeks do you have above 150? We have week 2 above 150. That's 1 week. We have week 3 above 150. That's another week, making 2 weeks. Well, week 4 is actually 150. It's not more than 150. So we can count week 4. Week 5 is above 150. So that's 3 weeks. So 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, they collected more than 150 bottles. And those weeks will be week 2, where they collected 180. Week 3, where they collected 270 bottles. And week 5, where they collected 270 bottles too. Other weeks, they collected less than 150 or 150 exactly. Which weeks did they collect the same number of bottles? Okay, let's see. It can be week 1 and another week because there's no other week that has this dot. Week 2, no other week has this dot 180. Week 3 has 270 and week 5 has 270. So week 3 and week 5 are the 2 weeks where they collected the same number of bottles. Okay. Let's see. In which week did they collect 150 bottles? That's straightforward. Where do we have 150? Right here. In week 4. So they collected 150 bottles on week 4. And how many bottles did they collect in all? Simple. Just add up the number of bottles for each week. For week 1, we have 90. For week 2, we have 180. Let's put 180 here. For week 3, we have 270. For week 4, we have 150. And for week 5, we have 270 again. So we add it up. Okay, this is 0. 9 plus 8, 17. 17 plus 7, 24. 24 plus 5, 29. 29 plus 7, that's 36. So you put your 6 here, take your 3 up here. 3 plus 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plus 2, 9. 960 bottles in all. Okay, well done. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye for now.